Did you know advertisers can build ads in SendMyAd? So today we're going to spend some time with you and just give you an overview of Blanchard Systems. We're going to do an interview with Phyllis Jefferson, Production Director of Specialty Food, and Phyllis is on the line with us. Good afternoon, Phyllis.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. And also I should introduce Keith Ziblich, Chief Operating Officer of Blanchard Systems, who's also on the line with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Keith. And AdCreator, we're going to do, after we spend some time with Phyllis, we're going to do an AdCreator demonstration, show you how advertisers can actually build an ad within SendMyAd. And then at the end, we're going to open up for questions from the audience, from you, the participants, for Phyllis or Blanchard Systems Management. Now, just a couple of things about the webinar. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll find a Zoom button. And if you click that, it'll allow you to expand the image to cover your full screen. Also, as far as the questions and answers are concerned, we're going to do them. You would submit your questions to us through the GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar, I should say, control panel, and you'll find a place in there to type your questions. We'll then monitor those through the webinar, and when we're done, we'll ask some questions. Keith will be asking questions to me and Phyllis, and so we can answer your questions that may come up as we go along. So please don't hesitate to fill in some questions if you have any. So just a little bit about Blanchard Systems. I noticed in terms of the audience, there's a sort of mixed bag of Blanchard Systems customers and new customers. So for those of you who don't know us, we're a software development and systems integration company. We were founded in 1992 and headquartered in New Orleans. We are the North American distributors for a German software company called Dalim, which is a developer of highly automated workflow solutions, which are broadly used by publishers and publication printers. In addition, Blanchard Systems has developed SendMyAd, so AdCreator is an option within the SendMyAd ad portal, and Virtual Publisher, which is a magazine planning and production portal. Both of these solutions are cloud-based. Just a few features about AdCreator. They're based on custom templates, which can be created to meet your requirements. The advertiser populates the predefined fields for images, text, and logos. It's simple and easy to use, very easy to use user interface. It has all the SendMyAd functionality, and it's perfect for marketplace or back-of-book ads. And one of the advantages is that it creates a uniform look for your marketplace. Just a little bit about SendMyAd. As I mentioned, it's a cloud-based ad portal designed to simplify the process of receiving ad materials. Because it's a cloud-based solution, there's no hardware or software to purchase and maintain. Ads are received by you ready to go into production. That's the big benefit for you, and saves time, improves margins, and also eliminates costly make goods. So I'd like to again welcome Phyllis Jefferson to join us. Some people said that she was a big star because her picture was on our website. So thanks for joining us, Phyllis. Phyllis is the production director of Specialty Food, and she has a long history of magazine production. And we've been working with Phyllis for about how many years now?
It's about 2.5 years now.
2.5 years working with her on AdCreator, and so I got a few questions to ask Phyllis, and then we'll move on to the demo. So Phyllis, tell us a little bit about the Specialty Food Association.
I would be glad to do that. The Specialty Food Association, and we were formerly known as the NASFT, which just rolls off the tongue, is a not-for-profit association established about 62 years ago in order to foster trade, commerce, and interest in the now $86 billion specialty food industry. Our association is international with more than 3,000 member companies, including manufacturers, importers, distributors, brokers, retailers, restaurateurs, caterers, and other specialty food businesses. We publish a quarterly B2B magazine, Specialty Food Magazine, for members of the industry. We also serve the industry through our website, specialtyfood.com, 2 annual fancy food shows, show directories for those events, Specialty Food News, which is a daily email newsletter, and various educational programs. And each year, our association holds a Soci Awards competition to judge innovative products in the specialty food industry and build awareness about members who create these outstanding products in their categories. So that's a little bit about what we do at this association.
Great. And I've attended the fancy food show, so I can tell you it's a lot. It's, for me, it was a lot of fun. Not a lot of business, but a lot of fun. Just a little bit about why you got started with AdCreator. You had some need, and we were able to fill that. So, share with us and the attendees, how you got started with AdCreator.
Okay. Well, kind of 2 questions there. Why did we start using it? Preparing our formatted ad section of our magazine, which is called What's New, What's Hot, was a very manual, labor-intensive process, which required advertisers to submit product shot and text separately. The image would go to our FTP site, the text would go to an email address, and then our sales coordinator and art director would marry the 2 pieces into a final ad after a series of internal steps. As you can imagine, the process took a long time. It actually took about 2 weeks and was prone to errors no matter how hard we tried. For some issues, there were 200 to 300 formatted ads. So unfortunately, a portion of revenue losing make goods was always part of the mix. We needed to find a way to modernize and streamline the process and give advertisers direct ownership for their ads to eliminate make goods. As I said, we started this process back in 2012.
Okay, so as I recall, when we first started talking about AdCreator, you had told me about the tremendous amount of time devoted to making these ads, which came in all sorts of different formats, ready for to print, and that was in itself a major task. So has AdCreator helped? Hopefully, it's helped you reduce that amount of time that it's taken to produce those ads. You talked about 2 weeks, so maybe share some thoughts on that.
Sure, we have cut the time down from 2 weeks when it was a manual process in half to about 1 week now. So, as you know, we have, thanks to the use of the ad portal, advertisers go in directly, and in just a few minutes, following our step-by-step instructions, they go through the entire process of creating an ad. They see it on screen right then and there, and they know it's going to look exactly the way they want it to look. Before they click submit, they don't have to wait for the magazine to come out to see what it looked like, to see if anything was wrong. It's all in their capable hands from the beginning. And, I think that's made them kind of be comfortable with the process early on, and it certainly made our lives easier because we know what we get in. We're not going to make a mistake on because we haven't created it. The advertiser has controlled that from the beginning.
That's great. So when you talked about a 1 week cycle, you're talking about from the time you receive the ad till it gets paginated and placed in the book?
Yes, for us, that's about what it is. For us, originally we had more steps involved. Now it's been a tightened up process there. So we're creating the ad in a couple of days, and we have someone review it internally just to make sure it complies with our formatting requirements and standards, make sure there's no glaring typo or anything inappropriate, like no one's uploaded an inappropriate image or something. And from there, it can, the ads are approved, downloaded by our art director, and then she can place them in her InDesign template.
Right, great. So how do you go about how did you go about inviting your advertisers to start using AdCreator from using this, sort of manual process where the ads
Hodgepodge.
were received in any sort of format, I guess, from maybe PowerPoint, AdCreator, Word, etc. So how have you gone about inviting your advertisers?
Okay, I'll tell you what we did then and what we do now. There's a slight difference.
Okay.
Before Rollout in 2012, we did these 4 things before we officially invited clients to use AdCreator. 1, we prepared detailed step-by-step instructions to guide advertisers through the ad creation process. And we emphasize the ease of use and instantaneous nature of AdCreator. Like I said, kind of build your ad as you go, see what it looks like, be really comfortable with what it's going to look like in print. There's no anxiety about what it's going to look like weeks from now. Then we created ads for our April 2012 issue. That's the issue we really started using AdCreator with. And we created those ads only internally at that point. We did that because we wanted to be entirely comfortable that every ad that was produced was going to be consistent in terms of every advertiser was going to have the same experience, everything was going to work the way it was supposed to work before we could officially roll it out. Then when we were confident that everything worked well, and everything did, we sent an email blast to advertisers who were scheduled for the pilot issue, the Rollout issue, which was May 2012. For Specialty Food Magazine, and we let them know that AdCreator was an exciting new tool that they could use starting with the May issue of Specialty Food Magazine. We didn't say it was optional or anything. We said, you have this exciting tool that you're going to use starting with the May issue.
And you're going to use it.
They're going to use it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. If you like it, you could use it. If you don't, you could skip it. No, you're going to use it. And then lastly, and it's the last step, because it takes some time. But lastly, we became experts at using AdCreator on our end so that we could confidently walk clients through the tool when needed. When they were panicked, anxious, or reluctant, we offered phone support for those who needed that comfort. And to this day, there's still a small percentage of advertisers, or agency people for that matter, who are a little apprehensive at times, or maybe not focusing on the instructions, and they call and we walk them through it, and it's usually pretty easy to allay any anxiety they may have.
Great. So, that was
then.
That was okay. And now and what are you doing now?
Now it's just we've shortened that 4-step process into basically 2 steps now, because technology has expanded into everyday life, including publishing and even the not-for-profit magazine side. Every advertiser has at least a fairly good familiarity with technology and using web-based tools, like AdCreator. So now, in order to invite them to use AdCreator, we do 2 things. And it's fewer steps because our instructions on how to use AdCreator are always available for download through the portal at any time. So 1, our sales coordinator or member relations staff person notifies the advertiser after they sign up for a formatted ad. They let them know when the materials are due and sends them a link to the SendMyAd portal. Once they log into the portal, they can download the step-by-step instructions. So then they do that at their leisure, or they get familiar with it first, maybe before they even do anything actively in the portal. And then if the scheduled ad is not created by a day or 2 after the published ad deadline, each issue in our magazine has its own deadlines in AdCreator that have been set up so that the portal closes out as the deadline passes. So if the ad hasn't been created within a specified amount of time, they get a reminder email from our sales coordinator or member relations person reminding them that their ad's overdue and telling them that they need to create it in order for us to publish it, of course. So if they don't follow up within 24 hours, we're going to need to cancel their ad because they're going to miss the cutoff. And that usually prompts people to get their ads in there.
Gets them into action. So.
Yeah, that gets the fire going.
There you go. So in sort of closing out here, so I have 2 questions for you. One is, what benefits have you derived? I mean, obviously the major benefit, I would say, is cutting a week off of your production cycle, but have you derived other benefits from AdCreator?
Yes, exactly as you said, Gary. Definitely cutting the production time in half for the formatted ad section in our magazine has been a great help. But in addition to that, we've reduced the number of make goods per year on these formatted ads essentially down to 0. You know, you can't really have a make good if the advertiser is creating it themselves. Although, you know, occasionally someone gets a make good not because of a technical reason, but because of some other sales-related reason. You know how that goes. And then the other thing, it's laid the groundwork, and we're excited about this, it's laid the groundwork for our future use of the display ad side of the SendMyAd portal. And we're expecting to do that next year in 2015.
Excellent. So just for everybody on the line, so you don't have to, well, SendMyAd was designed originally for display ads, run-of-book ads. You can use AdCreator without using it for display ads, without using SendMyAd for display ads. So you know, if you have a specific need around pre-formatted or formatted ads, AdCreator can be used without SendMyAd. And we have a few customers like specialty food that are doing it that way. So last question is, what savings have you realized by using AdCreator?
Well, for us, there haven't been any financial savings, but we can say that the staff resources, which used to be, as you can imagine, solely dedicated to our formatted ads, you know, one staff person was doing almost entirely that. You know, her time was freed up to work on other areas and handle other duties once AdCreator was up and running and well established. So it took not that long either. Excellent.
Well, that's good. Perfect. So, all right, Phyllis, I'm going to let you take it easy for a few minutes, okay? And I'm going to do an AdCreator demo for the folks participating today. So thank you very much. That was terrific. I really appreciate it. So just for what I'm going to do, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a mixed bag of you know, people that are using SendMyAd and that are not. So I'm going to do a little bit of, as we go along, a little bit of you know, showing you what the bigger picture, if you will, of what SendMyAd does, and then we'll get specific with AdCreator. So what you're seeing here is a generic login page, but we brand this for the particular publisher. So just to give you some ideas of what we've done in terms of branding for different publishers: Intermedia Outdoor, Time Inc., Meredith, each sort of taking a different approach. You know, some, in case of Meredith, they want it to look more like their website, and others have done more in terms of a branding in terms of their magazines, etc. So, but as part of the setup, we will actually set up and brand the portal for the sign-in page for you. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as an advertiser. As I mentioned earlier, SendMyAd is a cloud-based solution, so therefore no hardware or software to maintain and support. And it's really accessed from a standard web browser from any computer, really anywhere in the world. What you're looking at now is the Advertiser Dashboard. And just a quick sort of tour around the dashboard, if you will. Over here on the left-hand side, we have a series of frequently asked questions. These questions are standard for us, but you can customize them or add your own questions if you like. There's a blog. The nice part about a cloud-based solution is that when a new version comes out, everybody gets the new version immediately, and this is available as soon as the upgrade is made. There's a help button, and on the help button you can ask a question, report a problem, or request an enhancement. Just simply fill out the form, and that gets emailed to the support team, who will respond back to you very quickly. We have an online help manual, so for advertisers and publishers, and as well as a complete series of videos. There's also a online media kit, if you will, and this would be for both marketplace ads or AdCreator ads, or as well as excuse me, as well as your current issues, etc. So what you have here is for each size ad, you have a view of the size of the ad along with some specifications. We also have the file requirements for these particular files, and this is how this gives you information about how your advertisers about how to provide ads to your specification. And in addition, we have the closing dates for the issues. So this information is available, and this is used more as it relates to display ads as opposed to ad creator ads. Over on the left-hand side here, we have a very basic asset management solution, which is used to store your ads, which we retain for 13 months. And you'll see here some information. Again, these are predominantly these are display ads, but we also have down here an ad creator ad, and it just gives you information about the particular ad. There's a search tool, so you can search for a particular ad by a particular keyword or a particular whatever state that ad may be in. And we also should point out that SendMyAd can be used not only for print ads, but also for digital ads and tablet ads. So website ads, tablet ads, and of course what we're here to talk about today, Ad Creator. So why don't we go ahead and create an ad through Ad Creator. So you'll see here what's displayed are the templates which are available for this particular title. And you'll see that we have a couple of different designs, but I'm going to just use this 8th page ad. This is very much like the ad that the template that Specialty Food uses. And I'll go ahead and click this, and you'll see the template will load. Over here you have the actual template, and then over here you'll see the individual fields as they relate to this particular ad. And so we can go over here and always can change the size of the ad if you selected the wrong one. We are going to pick the issue. So we're going to run this ad in the October, and let's do it in the November issue as well. We'll put the advertiser name in, so I'm just going to put GD in for me. And now we're going to go and start to fill out the individual fields. So we'll click, and as I mentioned earlier, you can have fields which are dedicated to images, logos, text. Each field can have a different font, a different style, etc. And we can. So I'm going to go ahead and first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload an image. So you'll see here that we have the image specifications and the resolution, etc. And we'll go ahead and click on upload new image, which allow us to scan images that we have on our desktop or in a local filing system. And I'm going to pick this kitchen JPEG and go ahead and open that. Now, when that image is being uploaded, it's actually being pre-flighted to the specifications listed on the upload form, and you can see that it has met the pre-flight specification. Just one thing is the fact that this image here is actually can be moved. So as it turns out, my image is the same size as the frame, but if this were larger, you could actually move it around within the frame in order to crop it for the position that you wanted. But you know, we also can just do a simple, it doesn't matter where, just click fit to frame, and it will go ahead and place that ad in the frame. You also have the ability to navigate around using these buttons. So we're happy with the ad. It meets the image. It meets the specification. We'll go ahead and click done, and that image will get uploaded into the template. So you'll see it in place here, and you'll also see it over here. So if you wanted to change that image, you could certainly do that at any time as we're building the ad. So now we'll go down here into the headline and we'll put in Gary's kitchens. Okay. Of course, it depends on me being able to type well. So Gary's kitchens, and we hit tab, and that brings us down to the next field, and you'll see that the template has been updated with Gary's kitchens. And we can say best kitchens in New York, and click tab, and that will update over here. Okay, so now you have the option of entering all this text manually, or you can go over and let's just go over and we can pick up some text here that we've done on in a Word document. I'm going to go ahead and copy this paragraph of text, copy, and then we'll jump back over here and we'll go to this body text field and we'll enter paste and go ahead and hit tab, and you'll see that this has been uploaded using a cut and paste, which is much easier than entering the text. We can go ahead and pick up the contact information, jump over here, press that and edit and put that into position. And now you see that we've completed the ad. Now, this is all completely editable at this point. So we notice that it says kitchens.com, and really our URL is garykitchen.com. So we can go ahead and change that. So anything here at this point is completely editable by the advertiser. And you can see, I have to do is just click tab and update that information over here. So you see everything is in place and also still editable at this point. So if we wanted to go in and, for example, change the zip code, we can do that just as easy as that. So at this point, the advertiser can go through and they can examine everything that they've entered, and if they're happy with it, they can go ahead and submit this to the magazine. Once they submit it to the magazine, at that point, the advertiser can no longer, I'm going to go ahead and click submit while I'm talking. So at that point, the advertiser can no longer edit the ad. At this point, all the fields are frozen to the advertiser, but not to the publisher. So if the advertiser comes across something at this point that is not to their liking, they can click on this button and they can request a change. So it simply is going in here. For example, you might say, change area code to 212, and click request change. And that's now, when the publisher opens this up, that information will be available in terms of, because the publisher is able to actually edit the ad. So just to go through here and just show you a little bit of information. So here's some metadata. It's been captured about the job ticket, the advertiser's name, who actually created the ad, for what issues, the properties of the file, and the actual PDF that's been uploaded at this point to the publisher. You'll notice over here that it says that the ad must still be approved by the publisher and that the advertiser will be notified once that takes place. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to do here in the spirit of time, because this is really pretty simple to use. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign out as the advertiser, and I'm going to go ahead and log in as the publisher. And I just want to quickly show you the publisher side of AdCreator. So we'll jump over here and we'll go to print ads. And so you'll see here's that ad that we just uploaded. And we'll go ahead and pick that up and open it up. And you'll see here that on the right-hand side, it says that the ad's pending approval, and all those fields that we saw on the advertiser side before it was submitted are actually available, and these are all editable at this point. So the publisher would open up that note that said change the area code, and we can actually look here and see that there isn't even a phone number. So we'll go ahead and put in 212, and let's call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we can add the phone number to the ad. And so the publisher at this point can view this ad. So you'll see here, if I clicked on the notes button, by the way, I just meant to show you that the requesting change of the area code. So that's the note that has come from the advertiser. All the history. So for you, the publisher, this is important because it shows you every action that's taken place in terms of building this ad. And then there's some additional tools in terms of navigation tools, etc. So we're happy with the ad. We're happy with the way things look. Now you'll notice that we have 2 levels of approval. Now it's entirely up to you. Some publishers don't do an approval. Once the ad's delivered, they go ahead and take it and put it into their magazine. Others have opted to do an approval. So I'm just going to do quickly. So so the traffic department gets the first look at the ad. They go ahead and approve it, and then the next step is for the pre-press department to look at. They can go down and look through each one of these fields, make sure that it's proper in terms of the pre-press, and that as Phyllis was talking about, to make sure that there's no inappropriate images in the ad, etc., and we can go ahead and approve that. And once the ad has been approved by the 2 layers of approval, the ad's being finalized, as you see now, and it's going to be delivered to a destination defined by you, the publisher. And then that ad can be taken and put into place, and and typically, depending on how many ads per page, can build those pages in the software that you're using in terms of for page management. So with that pretty much covers AdCreator. As you see, it's an easy-to-use tool. It's designed to, as Phyllis said, to simplify the process of getting these predefined ads into your magazine. It's a big time saver, and if you would like to learn more about AdCreator, please let us know, and we'll set up a more in-depth demonstration for you. So with that, I'm going to see if Keith can join us on the phone, and we can, if we have some questions from the audience.
I am here, and we have several good questions, and again, we may not get to them all. If you do have any questions, just click on the Go to Webinar panel, and you can just type in your question, and it'll pop up, and we'll hopefully cover it. If we don't, we'll get back to you with an answer. First question for you, Gary, and Phyllis as well. What is the process of creating a template?
Okay, so Blanchard Systems builds the template for you. The AdCreator actually operates within InDesign server, and so what most publishers do is provide us with a mock-up of an ad as they want it to look, and also any sort of special features. And actually, I realized I didn't mention the fact that we do have some special features, like you can add bullet points, you can have drop-down menus, you can have specially formatted for phone numbers and those kinds of fields. So there's a lot of nice features that are available, and our customer service people will work with you on designing and defining the templates for you. Phyllis, anything you'd like to add to that? Okay.
I'm going to unmute Phyllis so she can
okay.
there.
You there? Are you there, Phyllis?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I did mute myself and now forgot. Okay.
Okay. I do that. Don't worry.
All right. Just to piggyback on what Gary was saying, before we even really got to the point where SendMyAd created templates for us, we had to figure out, of course, what we wanted in the template. So we took a little time. We looked at, in our case, we had magazine pages with our formatted ads that were not quite as crisp and clean and neat as we would have wanted. So we took that as an opportunity to redo the design of our formatted ads. So our art director made it a lot more appealing. She made all of the image boxes uniform. They're all in the same relative place within each ad. The copy doesn't rag around the images. It's all below. So we cleaned that up. We had to determine as well, you know, did we want a headline? Did we want a subhead? We did, so we created fields for that in our template. What kind of character count did we want? Did we want headlines to be one specific line? Did we want them to potentially be 2 lines? So we had to determine character counts. We had to determine desired fields, required fields and optional fields. You know, you don't necessarily, depending on what's in your ad, maybe your advertiser will have something, such as maybe they have a social media account, maybe they don't. Maybe they have 2. Maybe you want to limit it to 1. So you kind of have to make those decisions internally based on what's best for your publication and what will work for your advertisers as well. So those are all things that you have to decide upfront internally, and then you work with SendMyAd to make those items work in the templates that they're creating for SendMyAd, so that when someone is preparing their ad on the site, that it'll all come out the way you intend.
Well, that piggybacks perfectly onto one of the questions here, and it's really revolving around the template. And what happens if an advertiser tries to put too much text into a template?
Okay, so each field, the amount of text that field will accept is established as part of the design of the template. And when they get to the point where they've entered the maximum amount, that field, well, they can no longer enter. And I think there's certainly some notifications around the template, around that field, that say how many characters can be entered into that field.
Okay, seem to be several questions about templates. Is there a limit to the number of templates you can have?
No, you can have as many templates as you want, as many different sizes as you want, although most people opt for limiting the number of choices that an advertiser might have. But you certainly, if you have different sections of your back of book or marketplace, you can utilize the drop-down menu that we have, and it'll actually allow you to have the different headings built right within the ad. Phyllis, you were going to
Yeah, just to add to that too. In our case with Specialty Food Magazine, when we started in 2012 with AdCreator, we had 5 different templates that an advertiser could potentially use, because we have 4 different categories of formatted ads, so that was automatically 4. And then we had, those are ones with pictures, and then we had a 5th one that didn't have a picture or an image as part of the ad. Over time, we've whittled that down from 9 or 5 different types of ads down to just 4. And then we made some other modifications to the template itself from time to time. So we've kind of streamlined that process. I mean, it was, in a lot of cases, it was business decisions that we made in the magazine, whether we would offer certain categories of ads or types of ads. And when they weren't necessary in terms of we weren't getting a lot of revenue for them, we altered them or we removed them. And all you have to do in the back end of SendMyAd is kind of deactivate a template. So then it does not show up on the advertiser's end when they're choosing templates, and therefore they can't choose the wrong one. They can't choose something that's not available. You just have to shut it off on the back end so they can't choose it.
Great, thank you. That's perfect.
Okay, I think we've got time for just a couple more questions. I'm not sure if we're going to get to all of them. We'll try to keep this to 45 minutes, and we're running right up on that timeline. Here's my favorite question. I'll throw this in. We are a SendMyAd customer. What do we need to do to get AdCreator?
We'll follow up with you after the webinar, and we can go ahead and it's easy to turn on the functionality. The main thing is the design and building of the templates. So we talk to you about how we do that, and we get your first template set up, and you're in business.
Yep. Okay, and we'll do one more last question here, and the last one will be, can AdCreator be used to create web ads as well as print ads?
I guess the simple answer to that is yes, that you have the option within InDesign to define the output, so that it could be HTML versus CMYK or PDF, I should say PDF for print, and so that option does exist.
Okay. Okay, let's throw in one more last question that just came in. How many templates on average are clients using? Well,
I would say, based on what I would say that most publishers offer 3 or 4, no more than maybe 4 different templates. Otherwise, it starts to become confusing about which one do I use. So, but again, you can have as many as you want. It's really just down to what your needs are in terms of providing solutions to your advertisers. All right, I think that covers most of the questions, and I think we're right up at that 45-minute time limit we had. Well, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Particularly like to thank Phyllis for doing a great job in answering some questions as it relates from the publisher's perspective, and you did a great job, Phyllis. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keith, thank you, and we'll hopefully see you folks again in the future on another webinar. And have a good day.
Great. Thank you.